Welcome to Sonic Engine. In this video, we will explore its key features and what they do. Let's start with the Get Started page. From here, click on the Create tab. This is where you will find multiple game templates. Press Create New Game and you will have the option to start from example games, starter projects, or blank projects. For this tutorial, we are going to start with the platformer template by selecting this. By selecting this, you will set your project's name and hit Create New Game. Now we are in the game scene editor, the heart of your project. Here you can move, scale, rotate, copy, paste, undo, redo, and delete game objects. You can also pan around the scene and zoom in or out using a mouse or touch screen. But the first thing we are going to talk about are the different panels in the game scene editor. Let's go over them one by one. Object panel, this is where you manage and create objects like characters, text, or particles. Everything in your game is an object. Next is properties panel, the panel that is already open. When you click on an object or an instance of an object in the game scene, you will be given a list of properties that you can change. You can more precisely control the position, scale, and rotation of an object, but you can also change other things like the object like its opacity, starting animation, and Z-order. Z-order positions the object in the scene or controls its layering in 2D and 3D spaces. Then there is layers panel, which is where you can manage or make new layers for your game. Here you can add a layer or find different layers such as base layer and mobile controls. You can change which layer an object is on in the properties panel. Object group panel helps manage multiple objects together. And then lastly, there is an instance list panel, which is the list of different instances of objects in your game scene. It is mostly used to select and find objects that have been locked, misplaced, or positioned behind another object. There is also a grid toggle in the top right corner. It isn't a panel, it's the option to turn on a grid to help you better align objects in your game. The next important component in the engine is the event sheet. This is where you can build your game's logic and help set up rules for your game. If you click on the sidebar in the top left corner, you will open the complete menu including the game settings, scenes, extensions, and many others. Then you can go to the game scene and click this sidebar again. Here you can access your game setting properties, which is where you can fill in the information for your game as well as change the game's resolution, scaling, and rendering methods. From this window, you can also change your game's branding and loading screen as well as add icons to your game and will get used when you publish the game somewhere. Here you will find the scene list where you can organize, add, and manage scenes of your game. When you create a scene and give it a name, you can open it to access its game scene editor and event sheet. Each scene is completely independent, meaning it has its own editor and event sheet separate from other scenes in your game. Then there is global variables, which will be explained in another video. Now let's explore external events. Go to game scene events. Now let's explore external events. Go to game scene events, right click and choose add and link external events. These event sheets aren't tied to a single scene. You can reuse them multiple times and in multiple scenes. Then there are extensions that allow additional functionality, but we'll cover this in another video. Now onto the resources tab. This is where you manage your game's assets, images, sounds, and more. If you're using pixel art, you'll want to toggle something on or off for better control over your visuals. Lastly, there are external layouts, which are basically game scenes that are not limited to single scene. These allow you to design levels separately and load them into your game scenes dynamically. Sonic Engine has a huge range of other features and tools that were not covered in this video. Hopefully this gave you a good start in navigating the engine. Stay tuned for more videos. There is plenty more to explore.